Listen, telling Nigeria pé maybe the country is very hard or something. Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ rò ní pé ó lè jẹ́ kí country, or what do you think they can do that this country can better?
You see, the solution to this country is very simple and not simple. It's very simple because we know what we need to do.
Okay.
Right. One of our major problems is that there is so much corruption. So the corruption makes a lot of the political leader to be conflicted. Conflicted meaning that they want to acquire all the money to themselves,
Okay.
and these are the money that they supposed to be spending on the masses.
Okay.
Alright. Let me give you an example. Recently, there is a news that our senator won't share
Okay.
among themselves. Normally, iṣẹ́ òní senator ṣe tó ń share.
Okay.
Alright, they're supposed to fight for legislation, for law, not to be sharing money among themselves. Iṣẹ́ senator, they are lawmakers. The same thing goes to Congress. These people are lawmakers. They don't execute projects. Those that execute projects, they are state governors, not senators, not congressmen. Right? So what the government is in share over congressmen, for senators. Right? These are the money that you could have devoted to make the electricity better, to make the road better, to invest in our industry, right? But because they are conflicted over corruptions, they keep on dividing this money among themselves. So the first thing that needs to happen is to restructure our governance to either be corruption free or make the corruption to be less obvious. That's one. Two is that now if you look at our economy now, if you look at Nigeria right now, one of the problems that we have is our economy. The economy is not good, right? The question now is, what do you do about the economy? One of the things that the government can do, first thing first they can do is to ensure that we have light.
Okay.
Because almost all the world economy run on power, electricity power everything, power your computer, power your machinery, whatever. The first thing to sort out the electricity issue, right? Once you have sorted out the electricity issue, then you now sort out productivity, production of value. What is production of value? That means every country should strive to be self-sufficient from the food that you eat, from things that you use. For example, like all this phone, all this computer, all this ashota and war, things that every country should be self-sufficient. Right? Then the country should strive to be self-sufficient. So how do you become self-sufficient? You increase your productivity, what you produce. For example, in this country, are we producing things that we are using? The clothes that we are wearing, the food that we are eating, all these appliances that we are using, are we producing it? Now, the question now is, if we are not producing, what is the government doing about it? How is the government supporting the industry so that we can be self-sufficient? Now, and I'll give you an example. For example, like in China right now, right? There are many ways the government supports that country to be self-sufficient and independent. Right? There's a way a government can push its industry to be self-sufficient by investing, by partnering with some private entities so that they can produce things they are not producing before. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Let's say we are not producing clothes. We don't have a factory or organization that is responsible for producing clothes.
Yeah.
Government can partner with some private entities, set up some companies that do those things. And the government will have some shares in some of those key businesses.
Okay.
The same thing will happen to all business. Let's say we don't have a company that produces car. Government can partner. They can do something so that, because what that does is, first of all, our productivity will increase. Second, our dependency on foreign currency will reduce. And once we are able to do that, so we are using one stone to kill multiple birds. Because first of all, our reliance on foreign currency will reduce. Employment will increase, job employment will increase.
Yeah.
Right? Expertise knowledge in all those areas will start increasing. For example, let's say we start producing car now. That means expertise knowledge about producing car in that country will be increasing. That means your countrymen will become more knowledgeable, they will become more employable, and the value of the country will be increasing. It was a value. The moment you get to a point where you are self-sufficient, even other country will respect you.
Hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
You see all these things that we used to do that will be, for example, be Nigerian passport could value. Nigerian passport will never because other country don't value you. That's what it means. You see, the Nigerian passport will have value if other country also want to come to your country, because the only way other
Like
country,
US now, which is
yes sir,
important.
the only reason other country want to come to your country is if they value your country, they value what you guys are doing for yourself. For example, to buy the olóríire èèyàn báyìí sí, I'm a very association, I'm a very associate mọ́ ẹ. But the truth is that you have made your life better before that people want to associate with you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's simple. That's simple thing. For example, to buy ẹni tó wà ní títì tó ẹgbẹ́ wàṣọ dọ̀tí, you won't want to become closer to that person, but that person will through she first. But to buy ẹni tó look nice, wọ́n look handsome, wọ́n já fíkọ́fíkọ́, you want to so be life ṣe rí. So the problem is that we need to first sort out our problem first, and it is much easier to solve. It's just about people putting their ego aside, their conflicted interests aside. And once we're able to do that, solving our problem is not as hard as it seems. It's just that some people are not willing to do that because of selfish interest. And there are so many people in power that the only thing they pursue are simply selfish interests, not in the interest of the nation, not the interest of the development of the nation. It's just what they are going to eat, and they are going to show that they have money, they can have multiple wives. Like Nedi Wonkosi, you understand? These people are extremely useless. They do not add any value to the country. They're just embezzling money, and they'll be dividing money in the Senate. You understand? So imagine, it's only in Nigeria that politicians are more wealthy than normal people. It's only in Nigeria. So you can see how unfortunate it is.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's much easier to solve. It's just that we don't have people that are willing to take charge.
That is shame.
And what could have easily helped us again is that if you are able to get let's say we have something like a military coup, but it's not all military coup that are good.
Yeah.
But if you are fortunate to have a military coup, that the person that leads is someone that genuinely want Nigeria to be better. You understand? They can come, they can kill all these people off and establish a new law. You understand? And I'll give you another example. You see, most countries with monarchy are not good. Most countries, but if you have a good monarchy, it's better than democracy. It's better than any organized something. The same thing. Most communist environment, communists that be China, most communist environment are not good. But if you have a good leader in a communist, it's better than any democracy. You understand? But most are not good. That's the problem. You understand? But if you can just be fortunate enough to have, for example, now look at Dubai. They don't have democracy. They have king. Look at how beautiful. That's what it means. If you have a very, very good, it's better than any democracy.
Nigeria,
the same thing happened in Singapore. Singapore, it's not as if they don't have democracy, but they have a leader that's, if I talk about independence, their leader stayed there for a very long time. So that person was able to reform Singapore. You understand? That's why Singapore is one of the best countries in the world. So if you are able to have one leader that will be there, but that the interests of the country at heart, is better than any democracy out there. But that's what we need. But I'm not sure whether we are going to get it.
Okay, thank you. Ashe.